Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Can, and if I can, you can too. In this stream, we're going to be talking about branding. Are you ready for brand deals? A lot of people want to go ahead and start a YouTube channel, but they're not necessarily ready for all the behind the scenes work that a brand deal requires. And there's a lot of behind the scenes and in person and in front of the scenes kind of work. And what I mean by that is, how are you presenting your YouTube channel? So all of this is very important on how to secure a brand deal. And what we're going to be looking at today is your channel optimized and ready for brand deals? Are you doing things that make your channel stand out from the pack? And are you prepared to propose your channel for a brand deal? Are you bringing value to your viewers? Because if you're not doing that with a brand deal, then you're really not affecting anyone else positively. So just keep that in mind. All in all, we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, there's something important I need to mention. I work for an amazing company called TubeBuddy, and you can get TubeBuddy absolutely risk-free. Download it for free by using the code tubebuddy.com/can and using my promo code to get 25% off on any of the paid licenses, which just gives you a bunch of additional features. So that's tubebuddy.com/can to install for free, and Andrew's Buddy for an extra 25% off. Now, we started by discussing the importance of making sure your channel is ready for brand deals. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at my channel and show you how I've optimized it to be ready for brand deals if they come to me, so you can easily see what I'm talking about. That said, why don't we go ahead over and change to the desktop. So that is just the stream, as you can see there, but what we're going to be focusing on is my channel. The reason I want to go ahead and focus on this is I want to make sure that you have a good example, because I've done many brand deals before for not only this channel but other channels. While we're doing that, I want to take this time to thank our moderator, Become a Prime, also welcome the iScreen Man, as well as Icy Blue, and Doing It with Jason, who says howdy. Howdy, hope you are doing well. So as we look here, I want to kind of break down how I've organized my channel so you can get a better understanding. If I am a brand, the first thing I'm going to do is, if a YouTuber reaches out to me, I'm going to check out their channel. Now, a lot of people may say, your YouTube channel page doesn't matter, but it does, because it is a professional portfolio if you use it correctly. So the way I have it set up is immediately you can see my branding. Andrew Can, you know what I'm about: film, travel, motivation. So sometimes brands notice me from TubeBuddy, or they may notice me from my gaming channel, and sometimes that brand deal may fit better with this channel. So I want them to know, as you can see here, that they can see me either on TubeBuddy, or they may have been able to see me on my gaming channel. Again, I want it to be easy to make sure they understand what I'm doing. Now, Icy Blue is asking how to be reviewed. We will be doing the reviews after the branding session. To be reviewed, you just need to let me know what you want me to take a look at your channel. Continuing to move forward, as you can see here, I've set up my channel to be ready and easily understood just from a basic understanding. If they found me through Twitter, Instagram, or my gaming channel, or my Facebook page, I just want to make sure they know how to easily find me. So that's why I've included all of this here. So a lot of channels, when I take a look at them, they don't have a channel trailer. Now, since I'm on my own channel page, you're going to see just the live stream because this is the most recent upload. I can't subscribe to myself, but I have a channel trailer here, and it gives you an idea of what my channel is all about. However, a lot of times brands want to know the kind of content you do, so I've really made this easy for them. I showcase my short films as well as just kind of what they will look like. So if they want me to create a film around their product, they can easily tell what kind of films I produce, what the quality they can expect, and things of that nature. If I'm doing a travel series, for example, and they want to, if let's say a brand about packing cubes or suitcases wants to work with me, well, then I can easily show them the kind of travel features I do, and they can see how it would naturally fit on what they're doing. So again, you need to know what you want to do, who you want to work with, and you need to have it easily identifiable to the kind of content you produce. And this is the series I've done, Andrew's Analysis, which is where I kind of break down things for my audience and let them know, is this worth checking out? So this all came pretty much from my audience asking me. The number one question I get on this channel is, how did I get verified? And you can check out the card on screen if you're curious. And then I decided, why don't I keep going on things? People ask me my opinions on the Creator Studio. And then, if you notice, my subscriber count at the time of this live stream is only a little shy of 2,000, but my view count outweighs what my reach is. So it shows them that I have an understanding of search engine optimization. It shows them that although my subscriber count and core audience may not be as large as what they're used to working with, it doesn't mean that I can't reach as far. Again, they can see success with things such as Social Blue Book, which is something we'll be using later in the stream. And they can see, of course, my affiliation with TubeBuddy, as well as other things I've done. So it's very important that if I am going to work with a company, I can easily direct them to a playlist to show something that really is going to work. And you want to make sure that you are doing this in a way to where if I'm a brand, I can easily see the kind of content you could do for me, so I understand what I'm getting value-wise. So now I've kind of showed you content I've done. The next thing I want to show them is that I have a clear understanding and that I can track sales that I've earned. I can track these things on a certain level. So, for example, let's say I wanted to show how many people I've been able to get to install TubeBuddy. Well, then that's pretty simple. And all I'd have to do is I will transition back to my face is all I have to do is easily show them what I was able to accomplish just by utilizing TubeBuddy, because TubeBuddy being the company I work for, I can show them how many downloads I've gotten. I can show them how many clicks, how much traction I'm able to get on things. Now, you might argue that that is a bit of counterintuitiveness. Since I work at TubeBuddy, I have a point of authority, which is a very fair point, which is why I've done things such as Juke Deck, and I've done other sponsored content to show them those statistics and numbers. But for the sake of the stream, I'm just going to show you my TubeBuddy numbers because usually most companies are okay with seeing that. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of where I'm coming from. Would like to thank Aaron for manning the chat. Really do appreciate you. And of course, if you have any questions while I'm going over this, you can make sure just to ask. I will get to them, trying to focus mostly on the stream part and then the chat questions. Again, during the Q&A, you can feel free to ask as many chat questions as you have. I'm still pulling this up, just takes a little bit of time. I want to make sure I have the best information to showcase and utilize here for you. So I have no shame in showing this. So this is my TubeBuddy dashboard. So here you can see everything that I am doing here. So we take a look, you can see my affiliate stuff, you can see chat here. So what I could show them is essentially my amount of clicks, the amount of people I'm able to get to install, and the number of purchases I've had. I can download a detailed data report so I can then show them, hey, this is how many people I'm able to at least click on the link. This is how many people I'm able to convince to install the product or even consider getting to a certain point where they might purchase. And here's how many people I've been able to convert to purchases. Of course, this is going to be different from every company, but usually they see 5,490 people have clicked. And what that tells them as a business perspective is that I can at least get people to check out the website. It is then up to the website to convert them over to downloading or to purchasing. And from there, I have at least enough pull to show them that, hey, not only do I have good filmmaking skills and I can get people seeing your product, but I can get them to get on the page, and then it is up to the company to convert them over. And that's kind of where, as a influencer, as a creator, it is no longer my responsibility to try to convert that sale. It's up to the page we're seeing, it's up to what they've seen in the video. So it's a little bit of a 50-50. Shelly Saves the Day says, sitting in an airport, can't listen, but I wanted to let you know I'm here and wanted to say hi. Hello, Shelly. Can't wait to meet you at VidCon. Guess this is a pseudo announcement. I will be going to VidCon 2018, so hopefully I'll see everyone there if you are watching at the VidCon US location in Anaheim. Continuing back to the screen. So from here, I can then show them numbers and data, because a lot of times what companies want to see is they want to see proof that you can make sales, because they need to see something, a form of conversion. And with the TubeBuddy dashboard, this allows me to do that, of course. And then with other ways to convert sales, it's really important just to prove that to a company, you can move those products, you can do things that will make them value as well, because they're spending money on a brand deal most of the time. So if I get a brand deal, the first and foremost thing I think of as a creator is this going to fit what my channel's about? And most of the time it does. Sometimes I'll get a brand deal and it's not fitting to what my audience will like. So I try to always make brand deals relevant to my audience. I see this a lot of times with larger creators where they may not necessarily they'll get a brand deal, but it doesn't necessarily serve their audience. And then they don't work with that brand again because they're not able to convert sales. But most of the things I have here on this channel are either film, motivational, or travel related. And most of my audience knows me from TubeBuddy or my gaming channel, and they have a respect for what I'm telling them. So usually they'll at least peek into what I'm offering or what I'm talking about. So that's something to consider. So now I want to show you something through TubeBuddy and TubeBuddy integrations. If we click integrations from the main TubeBuddy menu here, we can go to Social Blue Book. So I already have Social Blue Book open here, as you can see, and I just kind of want to show you the Social Blue Book overview page. So I have a video, and I'll put a card on screen to learn how to set up your Social Blue Book, how to learn how to do everything Social Blue Book related, so you can find your values and you can know what to expect going into a brand deal. Icy Blue asks, what is a brand? A brand is anything that has a certain amount of value in either company status. So brands such as Nike, Adidas, Canon, if we're talking about cameras, Panasonic, Sony, those are all brands. Marvel's a brand. Star Wars is a brand. You know brands, and that's not a silly question. I've seen some people say, well, what is a brand really? You can be a brand on YouTube if you know how to position yourself. I work for TubeBuddy, which is a brand. It is a brand of software. So every brand is different in what they're delivering, but understanding what your brand is important. So this can go to everyone either watching live or in the replay. What is your brand value? My brand at the Andrew Can channel is about, I believe that if I can, you can too. That this isn't impossible. Icy Blue asks, what about gaming? Ubisoft, Bethesda, Nintendo are all gaming brands. So those are just some examples. And I've had the opportunity to work with some brands in gaming sphere, be it indie developers, be it mainstays on my gaming channel. So of course, knowing what you're about is really important. So I want to show you the My Values tab, which shows you just about how much Social Blue Book recommends my current value. You want to always make sure you're refreshing here. So last updated 44 minutes ago, you can hit refresh and it will show you things like that. Aaron says gaming is a category, not a brand. However, a gaming channel's name or publisher developer can be a brand, which is a great way to state that. Great point, Aaron. Which is why I brought up the brands I did. As we look here, you can see a little bit more updated, and this gives me an idea. Now, sometimes this can be low, just basically depends on my views per video. I can also know this knowledge and I can adjust it based on what I've gotten paid in the past, things like that. So again, overall, this is a suggestion and you have different options of things. So if I was just to do a shout out on my channel, if I'm to do a direct link or an activity fee promotion, I have options here. So the next thing I want to do is take a look at the My Projects tab at the very top here, because this is where you can find brands using Social Blue Book. And I think that it's a very good place to start looking because a lot of people, they don't know where to find brand deals. And Social Blue Book has all the time different brands you can work with, different brand deals. And of course, you can always check to make sure that these run in line with what you're doing. So as you can see here, these are public campaigns, meaning that anyone has the opportunity to run and fit with these brands. So as we can see here, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. We have Hone Running Kickstarter, which means that this is a company probably doing a Kickstarter campaign. So it says, we want to push traffic to our running shoe Kickstarter this November and our Instagram page. So they're looking for people to help promote their channel, their website, things like that. And that's important to note what they're looking for. And then for deliverables, there's no deliverables specified for this invitation. So that is up to us as content creators to come up with unique ideas. So if this was a indie developer and they wanted, pushes to their page to get downloads, then you can do maybe a first look. You can get a key from them. You could offer ways you could look at their game, show it to your audience, and then you can use a bit.ly link or whatever shortened link you want to track click-through to show them, hey, I was able to get X amount of people. Here's my proposal. I can get click-throughs here. I can get what you're looking for, and I can bring you the value you're looking for. But in this case, since it is a shoe company, I don't necessarily know if that would fit for all channels, but I know ways you can make it fit for yours. For example, I have been into fitness for a majority of my life now. For the past 5 years, I've been into physical fitness. So I could talk about my journey through fitness and maybe show these shoes in the film, talk about how having a good pair of shoes is important. And then that's something you can consider adding to your video, and then I could make a film where the shoes are showcased. I show them and I'm like, hey, did you enjoy the shoes showcased in this film? Click the link in the description to purchase a pair. They're great shoes, blah 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 blah. And that's just an example of how we could work together as a company and as a influencer and brand deal. So that's just giving you ideas, and of course you can see what they're willing to pay on this website, things like that. Doing it what Jason said, is there a site for becoming a brand ambassador? I had a company hire me at a 30% commission. I was wondering how I can go out and find more. Currently, I don't know of any sites about becoming a brand ambassador because most brands are looking for one-off deals that can lead to that kind of level. So you kind of have to first prove what you're doing and then make it to that higher level. But if anyone watching either live or in the replay knows of a site like that, I'd be very curious, because that's a great question. And if you don't know what a brand ambassador is, it's about something, it is basically a person who can kind of influence and say great things about your brand. You could argue I'm a brand ambassador for TubeBuddy, but since I work there, I don't think it's the same thing. Usually a brand ambassador doesn't work for the company, but they work with a company. So let's say Doing It with Jason is doing things such as he has an amazing channel, but let's say he wants, I'm just trying to think of brands within your niche, Doing It with Jason, so forgive me if I'm a little off, but let's say I am a company that's willing to work with Jason. I want him to represent my brand, and I want him to always showcase my shirts, my services. A paint company, great idea, Doing It with Jason. Again, you'll always know your brand better than me. So a paint company hired Doing It with Jason. Well, then for him, if he's doing how to repair patches of paint, like let's say paint scratched off or something like that, well, that would be a great idea to just showcase that paint there. And it's a natural fit for what the video is about. It's a natural fit to his audience, and it's not stepping outside of the realm of possibility. It's keeping it within his niche. It's keeping it within what he's doing, and it's bringing value to both the brand and himself. And since he said he was getting a 30% commission, anyone that purchases paint from him, he gets a kickback of that. Now, if you are a brand ambassador, if you are doing anything with brands, if you are based in the United States, you must disclose that you are working with these brands. It is against the law. Swag Gaming asks, can I be verified? And go to youtube.com/verify to verify your account. If you're talking about the verification badge, no, I cannot. I have a video on the channel. Aaron, if you could link to that video, I'd be very appreciative. But basically, you need 100,000 subscribers to be verified, to get the verification badge. I was verified before the changes, so that's how I'm able to have the badge. So back to the point, going back to this shoe brand, as we see here, they're looking for spoof shoe commercials. So that's another way you could do it. So let's say I know that Nike is Just Do It. Well, what if I said that Hone Running Kickstarter, Just Stay Home, kind of, parroting Just Stay Home instead of Nike's Just Do It. And well, now we have a different idea of things like that. Aaron says, I've seen a few college job search sites that have listing companies for brand ambassador, but it's usually not the best offers. So that's another thing to consider. Just because people are looking for brand ambassadors doesn't mean they're always going to come through with the best value for you, and you kind of have to know your value, which is why Social Blue Book is key. Now, if we're looking here, they're looking for someone between the price ranges of $500 to $1,000 here. And this is the promotion URL, and they have a deadline. So this isn't that far off. So if you're considering doing this, I would go to their website, going to their contact page, at least if you're watching this when it is viable, because that is something that's very easily doable. And here's the thing. I have, going back to my channel, if I wanted to show them my ability to create kind of funnier content, I could show them the TubeBuddy Civil War, which was a fun thing that Nick Nimmin and I were able to partake in. As you can see, kind of a joke, but it kind of shows the parody concept. And then I can show them my more successful films and give them an idea that this is kind of the jokey material I could do. But then these films here show a more showcase of my talent, my ability to reach an audience, and things like that. So even though, again, I only have about 2,000 subscribers, my reach is larger than my subscriber base. And that is something very important to note, is knowing your value, knowing what you can deliver. And again, that's why having your channel showcased in a way that separates the kind of content you do, separates them in ways that's easily readable from a brand perspective, shows. Again, the better laid out your channel is, the more professional you come across, the better it is for you as a content creator, because brands at the end of the day are looking for professionals. And that doesn't mean you have to change who you are. I see it all the time. People get upset. They're like, I think professionalism means I have to change who I am. You don't have to change who you are, but you have to understand what this company is looking for. If a company told me I couldn't do anything that I truly believed in, then the company's not worth working for. You always have creative control of who you work for. So if they don't line up with what you're trying to do, then it's just not worth working for that brand. But brands such as Social Blue Book, who I've had the pleasure to work with, they let me be exactly myself, my goofy self, and it doesn't matter to them as long as I was able to bring people through. Companies I work for with JukeDeck, for example, I don't really get anything for working with JukeDeck. They're just a service I love. I met them at VidCon 2016. I've used their service almost every day since. I think more people should know about what they're doing. Welcome 30-day reviews. Good to see you. He says better late than never. I guess I'll help all, or I think he meant hello because it's LP, but still, that is just an example of value I've been able to bring to brands, and knowing that I can bring that value, again, kind of giving an overview here. Have your channel set up in a way to which you can be successful. Make sure you look professional and presentable, so when you go to brands or brands come to you, you're ready to approach them. 2, make sure you know what would bring value to your audience. The worst thing you can do is work with a brand once, but they get very little to no value from your audience, because then what that can do against you is show them, well, we put in this much money to support them and we only got $3 in sales. So it's not worth doing. I think overall, it's important to know that you need to know what you are aiming for. Aaron, just friendly reminder to everyone in the chat, no advertising in chats, no shout outs. If you want a channel review, we are almost there. So continuing on the wrapping up, use brands such as Social Blue Book. Know your value. So when you're going to these places, when you're going to brands you want to work with, you know about how much to charge. Again, if you've done brand deals in the past, you can use that more as a barrier or entry point. But if they want to see other sources verifying your value, that's something like that. And then Shelly Saves the Day says, show them Geek Smash or Social Blue Book numbers. Absolutely, that's what you want to do. Again, prove that you can bring value. For me, I would just showcase my TubeBuddy affiliate sales numbers because they're impressive for a channel of my size, and they show my reach is larger than just my initial subscriber base. So it's always important to do things in that matter. Another thing I want to very much stress is, this is something Social Blue Book does really well, is if you're going to create a proposal, you can use kind of a template they provide. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. This is usually what channels want to know. They want to know, 1, what is your proposal title if they're looking for brands or if they're doing something that is in that kind of space. So this could be considered your subject line of your email. This could be considered what you will be doing. So this is your subject. So let's say you saw something on Twitter, or in this case, Social Blue Book. So reply, hone running Kickstarter. What is your proposal? And you can say, bam, dash, spoof shoe commercials. Then you can choose the platforms you'll be working on. So if you want to do this outside of YouTube, the best thing about Social Blue Book is if I wanted to promote this on my YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, blog, Snapchat, and all that, I can get paid for all of these and not just my YouTube. So this allows me value outside. So let's say I have a bigger Twitter following than I do a YouTube following. It's not the case, but let's just, use that for ideas, right? Then I can easily showcase that, hey, here's my YouTube following, here's my Instagram following, Twitter, etc., and give them more options than just my YouTube. Since they're trying to bring people into their Kickstarter, advertising on all these other platforms to them would probably be just as valuable as just my YouTube. So then I can tell them when I plan to have this done. So since I know they're looking to have this done by August 1st, I want to give them time. So let's say I wanted to have this done by June 23rd. That's when the proposal expiration date. What this means is this is how long they have to reply to me back before I give this up. So this means that I know by June 23rd, if they don't reply, that I just can't do this. Or let's go June 30th, actually, because that gives me a whole month. And then they would need a draft due before the upload date. So I'll give them 2 weeks before. And with that, I can then say, hey, this is when I will have, this is when my proposal expires. This is when I'll have a draft due. It'll be due. I'll show you 14 days. Honestly, the farther out before you have your draft due is probably for the better. So I'll do one better. I'll say I'll have it 3 weeks before it's due. That way you have 3 weeks to give me criticism, to give me, things I can improve on this video. And that way you are giving them time in case they don't like what you did originally to change it, because a lot of people don't take that in consideration. So then I can display, I can show rates. So let's say I want to do it on my YouTube channel. I can say this fits better with my film channel and I want to do a dedicated upload. So I know in the past I've gotten $100. I'll give them delivery date. And since I said the delivery date will be 3 weeks before, all I would have to do is know that it'd probably be due. Let's say I'll deliver this the 9th. If I wanted to post on Instagram, I'd post this closer to when they want it done. So if I had my Instagram link, which I thought I did, but I do not, but let's say Twitter, right? I know I have Twitter here. So if I wanted to do a dedicated tweet, I would just charge probably $10, make it pretty cheap. Have it due the day they're looking for, August 1st, or maybe even a couple of days before, so maybe a week before when they want to have it done. Again, and then you just need to explain what you're doing, all the while so you can make sure that you are providing value, that you can show them what you plan to do. So you could be specific to say, I'll say Hone running is the best shoe ever, or something like that for an idea of the tweet. And then you can kind of explain yourself. You get 3,000 characters here, so really use this space to make sure you know what you're doing. And once you have all of this done, you can review your proposal. Now it will tell me please verify the data you entered, make a video. Again, this isn't a serious proposal. It'll just give me an idea to preview this proposal. So here's a preview of the proposal. It shows kind of everything I would do. So this isn't actually something I would necessarily send, but I have the option. So now that this is just a preview, if I want to edit it, I can keep going back and editing it. Hello, Doug. Good to see you as well. So this gives you an idea of just kind of what this would look like before you send it. You can decide, does my Twitter metrics add up? And if they need to see more detail, one thing I love doing is Twitter allows you to look at your Twitter analytics. So if you go here, Twitter, and some people don't know this, and I find this interesting, you can actually get analytical data by just going here, and you can show them your reach. You can show the impressions, visits, mentions, followers, all this stuff. Give them this information. Let them know your value. Give them info to which they can take back to usually you're talking to a marketing person. So usually they can go back to CEO. They're like, this person has this amount of engagement. They have this amount of impression, of course. And then you can just kind of show them what you can do. And it's important. So once you have all of this, you can easily showcase what you're talking about. So once you have all of this set up, once you have everything you want to do, then you can easily send this. And I've gotten a few replies to this method. I think that it's very important to know what you are wanting to do, what you're trying to say, because the more data you can show a company, the more they trust you, the more they can see that you're serious about this. Because as I stated in the beginning, they want to know that you are professional. So doing it with Jason said that he's a brand ambassador, and I'm pretty sure what he did was he was probably very professional, but still himself. And you can do that to make sure that you are staying true to who you are without overreaching or without becoming something that you don't agree with. Because again, you want to be genuine, you want to be honest, and you want to bring value to not only your audience, but them as well. But most importantly, remember your audience is how you are here. So bring value first and foremost to them. Again, I've gotten brand deals to do Coke products, not necessarily Coke. I'm from the South, so that just means soda to me. But it was a soda company, and I don't like soda. So to me, to do that kind of brand deal, it is disingenuous. It is something I would not have done. So that is why I didn't do it. So that's something to keep in mind. Doing with Jason is that they saw a video of mine and said, let's do it. Lucky break. I've had that same thing happen to me. I've had editing softwares, which I've used in the past, see my YouTube channel. They saw a video or either a film analysis or whatever, and they saw the content I can produce, and they're like, I would love to work with you. Now, I'm not necessarily going to work with every brand that approaches me, but even seeing what they're offering is a step in the right direction. So just kind of keep that in mind. Overall, that's kind of what you want to do when it comes to brands. You want to make sure you are ready. But with that, we are going to be doing channel reviews. If you want a channel review, please let me know in the comments. And what I will be focusing on is your channel set up and ready for the opportunity to do Brand deals. Are you ready for that kind of serious engagement? Because brand deals are a step beyond reviews, or a step beyond things. Brand deals usually involve money to a certain point. So I'm just wanting to see, how prepared are you for brand deals? 30-day review says, instead of charging for reviews, I'm thinking of trying to upsell them on adverts on my website via direct link to their page instead of Amazon, and also the opportunity for them to pay for their discount code to not be behind a paywall. 30-day reviews, that's not a bad idea at all. I would just say, if you're doing that, make sure you have analytics to back up your claims, showing kind of click-through rates, to make sure that you have fact and not your feelings on something, because companies need to see hard fact. End of the day, I can say you're going to get a lot of downloads, and that's great. However, if I said, I've gotten 5,000 clicks on this product within the past 3 months, I guarantee you I can get a quarter of that based on my current reach. Well, that means that's 1,000 new users into a company, and that's pretty impressive, at least for my channel size. And of course, as you go with bigger brands, that's something different. But just think of that. Shelly Saves the Day says, one of these days, maybe VidCon, I should have you check out my channel. Absolutely, Shelly. Would love to give you a look. Just remind me there. And also got to make sure I'm not working. Yeah. Doing what Jason says, yeah, I always use a bit.ly link just to know. Perfect. And that's fine. Again, I said use link shorteners earlier. And I think that is a great way to have data. A lot of people are against link shorteners, but you have to understand, first, make sure that you are following true to YouTube's terms of service. You cannot profit off of the link shorteners. So that means don't use like any link shorteners that they have to watch an ad and you profit from that. But bit.ly, goo.gl is being phased out, but it was okay. Things like that are fine. So just kind of understand what YouTube's terms of service are. I always recommend reading up in case for whatever reason it changed. I'll be at VidCon rocking it. I'm excited. First time. Welcome. VidCon is amazing. Aaron and I, or Become a Prime in Chat, will be there. So I can't wait to meet both of you. I love VidCon. This will be my third one. It's also good to know. Shelly Saves the Day says Magic Links is good too. Absolutely. I've worked with Magic Links for a while now. I love Magic Links. They have a great team, very fun, very cool. Highly recommend as well. So we are going to look at 30-day reviews, and we're going to be taking a look at this from a brand's perspective. So this isn't necessarily based on anything other than, is a brand easily able to tell what you're about? Do you have a clear branding yourself? And do you have ways for me as a brand to get an idea of what kind of content you would do? So let's go ahead and transition. 30-day reviews. I have to say, I've seen this channel before. So 30-day reviews. I've been watching a few. I've actually asked 30-day reviews for personal recommendations because I have terrible skin, but that is a side note. So 30-day reviews. Grooming, tools, tech, and more. Friday uploads. As a brand, immediately I can see what he's about. Grooming, tools, tech. Only thing is, and more as a brand can be a question mark, but honestly, I understand it from a YouTube perspective. And this is, again, just being very analytical. I like the beyond unboxing, so this means that I know that if I want to reach out to you, you're going to give me a 30-day review, which is honestly more than a lot. Shelly has to board the plane. Best of luck. Safe flight. Thank you so much for the kind words. And great job to our moderators, Become a Prime and Doug Houston. Thank you so much for doing what you do. You do make this amazing. Aaron says, his beard is majestic. I'm envious. So I definitely like this. As a brand, I can easily tell what you're going to do. And if I have a product I want to be sent out, knowing that you're going to give a month review is a lot better. Because what most people do is they give a first impression, then a review. But I'm pretty sure you'll give me a first impression, but then you'll give me a review based on you using it for 30 days. The only thing that might drive off brands, and this is some brands, not all, is they might have to reach you early, because if I have a release date in 2 weeks and it'll take you 30 days, well then I don't know if that's going to be a good fit. So maybe, if, I don't know how you would say this, but just let people know, or if a brand reaches out to you, just let them know that you can, and obviously if you would, do a review a little faster, something like that, but also let them know that you will still do a 30-day review. Keep it true to your brand value, but understand that if a brand needs it by a quicker deadline, that might be a little fearful for them. So just keep that in mind. Recent post, of course, you have a channel trailer, so they won't see this, but one thing I like is I like how I can see immediately reviews. So mustache, beard, trimming, shaving, wax. The only thing I would say is if I am, let's say I'm a tech company, right? if I scroll down here, then the first 3 things I see are mustache and hair and, grooming tools, right? That it might be it might give me the wrong idea. So 30 Days Review says, yep, they'll have the option to pay for a first interpretation video, and they also get to pay ahead for the line of a 30-day review. Perfect. That's a great idea. Again, maybe have that in your about page, near your email. Just give them a way so they know this, right? But again, if I'm a brand doing tech stuff, it takes me a while to get to tools and things you use regularly. And then budget-friendly technology reviews, gardening tools, things like that. It's great that you had them. Oh, okay with that as phasing out that kind of stuff, focusing on grooming. Okay, well, that makes a lot more sense. Again, as a brand, they're not going to know your intent. So all they're going to know is what they see on your channel. And if you had that intent, then you need to do it fast, because you never know when a brand is going to look at your channel. Hello, Dr. Sten Ekberg. Happy to have you here. We're in the channel review portion of the stream. We are going to be taking a look at people's channels to make sure that they are ready for brand deals. 30-day reviews, knowing the information you told me, I think once you kind of... You've given me an idea. So if let's say I'm a brand new, let's say I'm Dollar Shave Club, you'd be the perfect fit for what I'm looking for. So for me, you would be a natural kind of selection to be here. But let's say I'm someone like Harry's Razors or something. My only thing for you would be, and I don't know this because obviously, but maybe consider doing some larger brands so you can get a little bit more search discoverability. Or if you're going to do mustache reviews as a brand, what I want to know is, most brands don't do this. They don't sort by popular, but I need to know, what is your reach, right? And I see that most of your videos are older pieces of content, right? And your grooming stuff is your more newer content. So what I would do is I would maybe create a playlist for popular reviews, so they have an idea of what you do, at least on your homepage. Because again, most brands, they're going to take a look at your homepage. And of course, they might find you through your website, which might be displaying this better. But let's say I just find you from your YouTube. I might just see this, and it doesn't tell me kind of the reach you can get. I see differing views, so it makes me wonder, why did this one get more views? So even if you had maybe like down here, or maybe further up here, my most popular reviews, that way it's a good idea to know, as a company, I know, okay, this person can get views, that they can get this. And of course, if they're reaching out, if they like what they see, they're going to do this. From a branding perspective, I think you're really on point. I think you have a lot of things. Knowing you're going to clean this up makes me feel even better. I'm going to give you a B+ for branding, because I think you're doing a lot right. Of course, the only thing kind of holding you back is there's a bit of confusion from a brand perspective on what you're doing. I know you're eventually going to change this, but if I was a brand just looking at it without your input, I'd give you a B+. I like what I'm seeing, but I'm a little confused on the reach, and I'd be a little kind of afraid to not know what you could bring me as a brand. But that's just my opinion. Of course, if you want to give a grade from a branding perspective, meaning how likely are you to give this person a brand deal, a letter grade A through F, F being failure, A does that. So 30 days, yeah, and doesn't popular uploads cover that? So looking here, popular uploads is all the way to the bottom, 30 days reviews. And the problem I have here is, while they are popular uploads, if I'm Dollar Shave Club, which is the niche you're trying to reach, then it doesn't do me any good to see a watch review being your most viewed video, right? But if you curate your own popular videos list, so you can do 30-day reviews popular videos, which is a list you created, which then you can make searchable, that gives me more confidence to know, oh, this fits my brand needs better than a watch. Because again, you said you're going to niche it down. The problem is your most popular video isn't necessarily right now the most on point to the niche you're hitting. So that is what I think is a brand perspective. Again, I see marathon watch, hand tiller, how to wipe on. I see what looks to be maybe a phone review, and then I see a shield protector. And again, if I'm looking for, if I'm Harry's, or I'm Dollar Shave Club, I'm Gillette, all these grooming brands, I see this, I'm a little confused. So make the popular grooming playlist. Absolutely, because you said you wanted to focus on grooming. Your popular uploads playlist gives me mixed messaging on what your channel is about, because I see those other things. So again, my B+ still stands. I think you're doing a great job. And of course, Let me know what you think in the live stream or in the chat replay. Great. I'm always curious. So if you were looking for a channel review, I'm offering channel reviews on the premise of, is your channel brand ready? If you're looking for a review, please let me know. So I see one here. I'll pull up the channel. And again, this is going to be based on, is your channel ready for brand sponsorship? All right, next one is Rainy Rap. So as I look, I see Rainy Rap. The first thing I'm thinking from a brand perspective is, I'm a little bit confused. What is your channel about? I see Rainy Rap here, so I can see clear branding here. But again, most channels, if they find you through YouTube, or most brands, they're going to want to know some sort of what you do. And since this is blank, I have no idea. So the first thing I see is Joey Trap Sesame Street featuring Kamazan, which is good. So I see a SoundCloud link. I hope you enjoyed. I see good views. So what this shows me is that you can get good views. You have a way better reach than your audience subscriber count. But it also worries me, okay, this person's getting a lot of views, but they don't have a lot of subscribers. What are the disconnect here? What is the disconnect here, right? So again, I'm looking at it as a brand. And then I see, okay, so they have Rainy Bass, which has this amount. They have 177,000 subscribers. I see Rainy Chill, Rainy Trap, Rainy Bounce, which is good because I'm seeing diversity and I'm seeing a clear branding, which makes it a little confusing why there's no visible branding here, right? And then I see uploads, right? I can see that you're active. I can see that you are doing well, but then I see this huge view count, and then I see these lesser view counts. So again, it kind of goes back to, are they not fitting? My apologies. Thank you for letting me know that we can't see the page. Going back here, there's no art here. I see Joey Trap with, again, this 448,000 view count. And then I see your different Rainy collection, which I like that a lot. And I'd actually probably put this here. But then I'm seeing these views that aren't matching up with your popular upload. So as a brand, I guess what I would need to see is maybe a conversion of sales or click-through, so I know that people are at least going there. So you could easily do this by doing bit.ly links or Google shorteners or whatever you have to do, so I as a brand can see what others are clicking through, because as it is, I'm going on your word, and as great as your word is, I need fact, because if I'm a marketing person, I can't take your word back to my boss, because my boss needs to see data. They need to see analytics. So again, you may have a way to track that, which is great, but as a brand, as a company, I'm a little confused on, I see this video is doing so well in views and these aren't doing as well. And again, I see a little bit of a disconnect. I see that you're uploading actively, but why aren't these views matching these higher viewed videos? And since this channel doesn't have a face and I don't know what your channel is about, it's a little confusing. I also agree with Dr. Sten Ekberg. Mustache products, beard products, shaving products, balms, oils, brushes are a great idea for you 30-day reviews since you're trying to niche it down. But overall, I see that you do music. I just don't have any way as a brand to track. Now, some brands may go to the About page, right? And I see bringing you new and favorite rap, hip hop, bringing you new and favorite rap, hip hop, and more to your ears. Contact us, which is great. But here's a problem. That should be here. That should explain what you do, when you do it, what they can expect, etc. Because this goes past brands. If I'm a person on YouTube wanting to subscribe to your channel, I have nothing to know other than I see a few recent uploads. But I guess because you're rap, I'll assume rap, right? But when, how frequent, where do you get it, etc. Things like that matter. And since I don't have it as a brand, I don't know if you're worth working with, right? But then I see these different sub counts, which are great. But if I'm a rap-based brand, and then I see that you do better in basses, it leads a little bit of confusion. So I see some good practices here. I see some good things. I see a good size, but I see a lot of things that make me a little concerned. So I'm going to give you a C+ because I'm again, I see some good metrics here, but I don't necessarily see things as a brand that make me comfortable working with you because I can't tell, at least from a face value, what your goal is, what you're trying to do. And most brands, if I have 10 minutes to find companies to work with, well, then I don't see enough here. I'm going to probably click off. And that's just an honest truth. Most people bypass the about page, but when the description from that page shows up, when people hover over your profile, which is true, Doug Houston brings that up. The Cookie Couture channel, welcome. MMA Holes is asking for a review. You are next in the queue. But again, I don't think your channel is bad, Rainy Rap. Just consider those things. Consider if I'm a brand, or if a brand or just anyone going to your channel, they don't really have a clear vision of what you're aiming for. And that's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. And I think just kind of making it a little more clear, letting me know what to expect from you, does a lot. So I like what I'm seeing. I see a clear understanding. Just really explain a bit more. And I hope you come back, because if anyone gets a review, feel free to come back. 30-day reviews has gotten a review from me and has come back. And it's things to consider. Icy Blue, you're going to be after the MMA Holes, so you're in the queue. And of course, friendly reminder that if you are enjoying what you are seeing, Icy Blue, you don't have any content, so I kind of need content to look at. But I guess I'll look at your branding since there's not any there. But we will turn it over to the MMA Holes. So, Rainy Rap says, thanks for the review. Thank you for the opportunity. So, the first thing I'm going to take a look at is, I am going to see this. Andrew, can you please take a look at the changes made on my channel? I'll say put a channel on a trailer. I'm not sure why persons that are already subscribers can see. Is that normal? All right, I'll add you to the queue, the Cookie Couture. So the first thing I see is that this is a very specific theme. I don't know if this is on purpose. I don't know what, like, is this what you're going for? I can see a little bit of the branding here and here. But as a brand, this might put me off, because most brands are looking for a clear logo or image that they can easily identify the person they're working with. Now, while your YouTube subscribers may like this and your YouTube fans will enjoy this, I don't know if a brand necessarily will be able to easily get an idea of what you do, right? So, I look here, I see I love food, and I see that you are doing a live stream, which gives me some good hope. Then I can see your upload, so I can see how frequently you upload. I see some good views. I see your lives do really well, which isn't bad at all. I then see popular uploads, which are within the year, which make me pretty happy to see. Bob THP says, I'm confused what this channel is about. That is a great point. So consider that when you are doing what you are doing, because if I'm a brand, I can tell you're about MMA, and I would assume you're targeting MMA because you're called MMA Holes, right? But let's say I am a brand that is a fitness brand. Would your brand be a good fit? Maybe not. But again, I can't tell what you necessarily do just from a look. I understand MMA, so this interests me personally. But as a brand, I could see confusion. But let's just say the UFC sees this. They can go, wow, there's a pretty good community here with some good views, right? Well, then that for me gives me an idea of this might be a decent person to consider working with, because they have some actual stake in the game, which is good. Kit Slam Art says, hey Andrew, glad to catch you live. I'm working on a video myself, but we'll be listening in on the action. Thank you so much for stopping by. Always appreciate seeing you here. So, as we can see here, I see the Funk Master. Again, I know all of this from a brand perspective. I like how I can tell a little bit of what you're about, but I don't see any branding necessarily around your channel. So I guess what I'm confused about is, what can I expect? Is this your branding? It says MMA podcast in the banner. No good. Again, because this is kind of small, right? I see 3 live shows every week, but live doesn't necessarily mean podcast, right? So as a brand, I'm like, okay, they go live. Yes, the podcast is here. And I see, but this doesn't tell me these are podcasts. This is uploads, right? I see uploads. I can't necessarily tell. Is this a podcast? Is this a live stream? Because podcasts and live streams can both go long. And I see live here. So I'm assuming this is your podcast. And when it's live, it says live. But you have to understand, I have to agree with Aaron. It's not necessarily clearly branded. And as a brand, I could definitely see brands skipping over it because it's a little confusing of what you do. Not saying that it's bad. It's just what a brand is looking for versus what an everyday YouTube person is looking for are two different things. So from a YouTube perspective, it's fine. From a brand perspective, it's confusing, right? And so I would say if you do what I'm assuming is you do 3 live shows every week. Your podcast is a huge part of it. I don't mind this. And good point by Doug Houston. MMA podcasts might be cut off on mobile because I don't know exactly where the cutoff point is. But that is a good point to consider as well. So overall, it's not bad branding and it makes sense for YouTube. But if I'm a brand looking to work with you, I'm a little confused kind of on the messaging. So because it's clear you have an audience, it's clear you have an understanding of your content, my only thing is, since this is a brand perspective, I'd probably give you a B- for branding for a brand deal, because it's hard for me as a brand. If I'm looking from, an outside perspective, I don't easily know what to see. So let me know in the comments or in the live, in the comments of the replay or live, what you would give this a grade of. I gave it a B-. I'm always curious to what people see. Icy Blue is next on the list. Then it is the Cookie Couture. I see that it is cut off, the MMA podcast. And again, a lot of times when people you're working with marketing people, so they're quickly scrolling through. And that's something to know. The wrench in the chat means that these people are moderators for the question there. And those are things to keep on about. MMA Hole says, I give it an A++++. Again, I understand that. There's a little bias there. But again, I think it works. It just is a little confusing. Oh, welcome Beanie Draws. Thank you so much for always coming by. Could I get a review? This is different from YouTube reviews, so that's interesting to look at it differently. Hi, Beanie Draws. Of course, I'll add you into the queue. So let me just quickly make sure that I have everyone before you in. And of course, please let me know your grades in the comments because they are important. So please post your grades for the channel. Always curious. So now we will be looking at Icy Blue. So this channel doesn't have any content. Okay. Problem. If I'm a brand, I'm not going to check videos. You need to populate this with content. You told me you worked on your channel art. Problem is, Icy Blue is cut off. Daily vlogs and reaction videos. It's not bad, but there's no clear branding. So as a company, I'm going to be very honest with you. I see 53 subscribers. I see daily vlogs and reaction videos. I'm clicking off. There's nothing that gives me any bit of professionalism or anything in that matter that lets me stay on here. Not saying that you have a bad channel. It's just this isn't a channel that looks professional, that looks like a brand would be willing to work with. So I'm going to have to give this channel, because I literally don't see any content, and this is how brands look at it, I'm going to have to give it I'm being generous, a D+ here. So again, let me know what you think in the comments, and in the live replay you might think differently, but I don't see enough here to warrant, as a business, as a brand, there's not enough here. 30-day review says F-. The ice cream man says, man, most people look at the channel page and make a quick decision. They won't stick around. So that's something to consider. So I'm going to stick with my D+. I don't see enough here. Much more generous than most right here, says Aaron. Again, difference of opinion, but as a brand perspective, that's not something. So the Cookie Couture, which is someone who has, first of all, thank you for your kindness on the channel. I've seen you around. You've been very supportive. Asked for a review last time. So this time we're looking at it from a brand perspective. I know you also asked me to take a look at your channel trailer. This is what I saw. I think it does a great job of explaining what you do. I actually enjoyed this channel trailer a lot. It gave me an idea. The only thing I had a kind of critique about is it didn't tell me where I can follow you offsite, and I see you have Instagram, I see you have Facebook, things like that. So just giving you an idea there. Okay, Bob THP, you will be added to the queue. So I like this as let's say I'm a cooking company or I am a baking company. First off, I love the easy recognizable branding. That is fantastic. I see who you are, so I get an idea. That's great. I see good branding. I like it. Only thing I would say is put some more playlist here, because I want to see, maybe I see you have different styles, so make playlists based around the kind of content you do. So I would say keep that in mind. Then I would say, again, I like the thumbnails, and I think you have some really good, kind of look here. But I need to see a little bit more as a brand, so I'd say populate this with playlists. Again, this branding is so strong that when there's not enough to support it, it makes me want to know more, which could work in your favor, but it could also be a little bit confusing. I also see English and Spanish videos every Tuesday and Thursday morning, so I know when you upload. The only thing I could say is this might be a little hard to read, and I kind of had to look for it. Again, at a glance, I need to be able to easily tell what your channel is about. So I do think your channel trailer is great. I just think, adding a little bit more why you do what you do, where can I find you out of YouTube, things like that, adding that to that wouldn't be good. I think that the branding from like your channel branding is great. I just need to see a little bit more of your content. Show me your popular uploads. Show me other things than just this, and show me you put in that extra mile, because as it is, it's not enough. Again, it's better than most, but I see this subscriber count as a brand, and I think I'm probably clicking away. And that's not a slam. It's just a genuine truth. Again, I think as a YouTube person, you have a great channel. Just show me a little bit more of what you do. When it comes to grading this from a brand perspective, I'm going to give you a B, because I think a B- actually is a little more fair from a brand perspective. Again, I see clear branding, but I don't see it enough throughout the channel. And I think it is something to consider. Beanie Draw says, I removed my channel trailer and replaced it temporarily with a long tutorial. Interesting. Beanie, how has that been going for you? I have one of my films as a channel trailer, and I actually find that has really good, because it shows people what I'm most proud of. So again, not bad. It's just, again, this look is at a brand perspective. And if I'm a cooking or a baking kind of channel, I think that it is a really good insight kind of what I see, that there's a natural kind of fit for me, but I don't see enough of your content, and I don't want to have to look for it. I don't have that kind of time. I am getting paid. I have a boss, all those things. So just consider that brands need to see more of what you do. And if you don't have necessarily the catalog to do that, then that's fine. But again, this look at is looking at it from how brands see it. So just keep that in mind. Next, we have Dr. Sten. So I will go ahead and pull you up. All right. I can't really tell. I need to update my channel trailer. Should it include a short pitch to brand? 30-day reviews. Your channel trailer is a pitch to new viewers. What is the value you are bringing them? Now, if you can just show what value you bring to brands in that too, that's great. But mostly focus on viewers, in my opinion. That's the first thing they think of when you look at your channel. Cookie Couture, make more playlists and add them to the homepage. Absolutely agree, Dr. Sten Ekberg. So, transitioning to Dr. Sten's channel. Seen this channel before, so what I'm going to be taking a look at is, what if I am a health and wellness company? Like, let's say I do whey, or I do a fitness, like active idea or something like that. I do fitness monitor. Or let's say I'm an app that monitors your health and fitness, and I see a good brand potential here. So first thing I love, secrets to extraordinary health and longevity. Love it. I know when they upload. I see clear branding. I see an understanding. I see a lot of things that make me pretty happy. This is very well laid out, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And the Cookie Couture channel, I will explain that in just a second. Don't worry. So first things, I love this. Viewers' top 5 favorite health videos. Perfect. Easily. But again, I'm subscribed, so obviously just for the sake of this video, I'm actually probably should have done this for a few others, but let's see what an actual brand will see. And don't worry, Dr. Sten, I will go ahead and do this here. So this way I can see a bit of both. 3 months ago, I see really good understanding of YouTube. I see all of this. Perfect. I see uploads. I see live streams. I see just normal videos. I see that you go live. So I definitely could see some benefit here. I see clear branding. I see popular uploads, which lets me know. I see how to stretch. So again, I'd see a lot of things here that, as in the fitness and space, I see a lot of things. So that's something I'm just going to say that I can easily tell on your channel. I like it. I like it a lot. So keep that in mind. Another thing I would say is I like what I'm seeing. Only thing I'm worried about, and this is just from a brand perspective, right, is if I'm to approach you, right, my main fear would be, and this is just because a lot of brands look at subscriber count, is just the sub count. So I see you have short links here. If I'm a brand, be prepared to have these stats from these short links on hand so you can reply immediately with content that you are going to be replying with. So you can show them, hey, this is my click-through. This is the data I can provide you. So just be aware that people might judge you on your size, and I know you'll grow past this, but just as a thing to keep in mind. Overall, I see clear branding. If I am a health or fitness kind of app or supplement or whatever, as long as obviously you're okay with working with that brand, I don't see any reason why you couldn't easily get brand alert, a brand deal or brand thing. So I'll give you an A. I see really clear understanding of playlist, channel layout. It's really professional looking. I see good views outside of your, your subscriber count. The only thing is this is your best video to show this, because the older the video is, the more confusing and concerning it is for me as a brand. But seeing these 4 or 5 month old videos, no, you don't have to wait for a certain sub count. I would just say, if brands are coming to you, just keep that in mind. If you're going to brand, have all this information ready, because you can go on making sure the Cookie Couture channel. I do go and watch my TubeBuddy video, how to utilize TubeBuddy on how to grow. I also have other live streams where I talk about how to grow a channel and increase subscribers. But you should focus more on increasing community, because if you focus on your community, subscribers will come. Where if you just focus on subscribers, you don't necessarily get a good community. Also want to say hello to Creator Fundamentals, also known as Dan. So yes, I would say, Dr. Sten, you are ready to go for brands, especially kind of with your channel. Just kind of have, like I mentioned earlier at the top of the stream, make sure you are ready to approach them, because you need to know that what you are doing with like these bit.ly links, show them the click-through, show them the conversion rate, show them that you have that power, because until you do, if you're reaching out to the brand, you need to bring that value with you. Again, I used an example of my TubeBuddy. I used my TubeBuddy sales as an example earlier. So overall, I definitely think you can go after brands. Just be prepared if they ask you, well, what can you show to show conversion? Show bit.ly conversion, show any affiliate sales you've done in the past conversion. Show that you can prove you can make sales. Awesome. Beanie says Roberto had an interesting Instagram live stream where he talked about brand deals as well. So keep that in mind. Overall, I give it an A. I want to know what other people think in those comments or in the live stream chat. Hopefully, Dr. Sten, that gives you an idea. Again, I think you have a great channel. It would make a lot of amount of sense to do any brand deal with health or fitness. However, keep in mind that you should always bring value to your viewers first. And if they don't click through, or they don't buy, or they don't subscribe to whatever you're trying to provide them, that looks bad on you. And if I'm a brand, I'll think, Dr. Sten liked the channel, but couldn't get us any sales, so it's just not worth reaching out. But if you can provide 10 sales on your channel, that, to me as a brand, that could be better than most people expect. So just kind of keep that in mind. I need to know who is looking for channel reviews. I have a little bit of time left, so if you are interested in getting a channel review, please let me know in the comments. Always curious on who I can help. So Dr. Sen says, yes, I would only want to have a brand I use myself. Makes sense. 30 Days Review says I'll give him a B+ because I have to dock him for being doctor and I have a white. Fair. The Ice Cream Man says, don't they look at Facebook and Instagram? Absolutely, but we're taking this as a YouTube review, not an Instagram, Facebook review. So as I mentioned earlier in the stream, if you want to be looking at those, that's where Social Blue Book comes into mind. If you want to get reviews on those, I probably am not going to do that here. My quality and my expertise is YouTube, which generally most companies look towards more for Instagram over usually my experience, Facebook. So if you have a good Instagram, well, that's great. But Instagram's all about your branding. And I've helped other companies build successful Instagrams, but I'm really solid and focused on making good YouTube channels, right? Because Instagram can come, but it makes no sense for me to cover Instagram when the focus of the stream is YouTube. So give me an idea on why I'm not necessarily covering those. They're very important, but they're separate to what I'm discussing here. So I am a holistic chiropractor. I've got a lot more videos on my channel since the last time, Andrew. Awesome. So Beanie, I'll go ahead and give you a channel look at. I'm going to unsubscribe though so I can see what a brand would see. So let me just quickly do that. Sorry, might hurt to see, but I need to know what a brand would see. Of course, wait, what? I guess I double clicked. So, Beanie draws, art, tutorial, tips, tricks, and dinosaurs. Perfect. So, I know you are in the middle of Jurassic June. Tutorials, tips, tricks. I'm a fan of Beanie Draws. Just need to make that clear. I like what I'm seeing. I like the different dinosaurs. I like the different arts. So let's say I'm Adobe. Let's say I am a tablet company where you can draw. Let's say I'm Google Chrome, which actually sponsored a lot of artists, and I want to sell Chromebooks to you. I want you to use Chromebooks to draw, or I want to show that you know how to draw using my tools, or something of those that matter. What's the name of the drawing tool in the upper right hand corner? I believe it's called Page Marker. Options. Yeah, it's just Page Marker. So Page Marker, Dan. And before I forget, sorry, Beanie, I did promise this, so you'll understand. To answer the Cookie Couture channel's question, you go to customize your channel. To add, you should see add a section, and then you can add playlists, you can add videos. I always recommend putting your content in playlists. If you have TubeBuddy, you can make playlists by going here, hit playlists, and then from here you can hit new playlist, create a new playlist based on that. So that should answer your question. Going back to Beanie Draws. Oh, nice. I didn't know Google sponsored artists. Beanie, Google Doodle. Hello. Actually, I think I saw someone talk about how they're doing a Google Doodle for Jurassic June. So keep an eye out on Google's homepage. So, for example, if I just go to google.com, if I go here, sometimes they have Google Doodles. No. So sometimes they have a specific homepage. So that'd be a perfect fit for you. So keep that in mind. So when I look at your channel, definitely I see good branding, I see Beanie Draws, I see arts, tutorials, tips, tricks, dinosaurs. So I definitely see your most recent uploads. I would say call this Beanie Draws most recent upload. That way, if I am searching for Beanie Draws, I see this. I like most recent uploads, but really personalize this to your channel. Then I see T-Rex drawings, I see Velociraptor everywhere, bite-sized time-lapse videos, popular uploads, cute cartoons. So I'm definitely seeing some different, I definitely see a lot of different kind of ideas here. And as an art channel or someone interested, I have to give you an F- because channels I like doesn't have Andrew Can. We got to move on. I mean, F- on branding. I'd never work with this channel. How can I say I'd work with this channel when I don't see my own? So sorry, have to give you an F-. Now I'm joking, being of course, he's giving you a hard time. But in all seriousness, I definitely see an appeal. I do think that there's a lot of good here. I definitely see your talents. The only thing I would be a little worried about is you say art tutorial, you know, all this. I'm afraid that what if I'm an art, studio or something that doesn't focus on dinosaurs, or we focus on something else? How do you have a way to show that kind of brand value? So just keep that in mind. And overall, you decide what brands you want to reach, but you should reach out to Google Doodle at your size. YouTube would love that. I definitely think that whatever you're doing is great. And Doug Houston says, I believe it's the Google logo themed for whatever they are promoting for a particular day or cause. Absolutely. I know for a fact, because I remember where I saw this. They're working on one for Jurassic World. Beanie, you would be a natural fit. All you would have to do is basically doodle dinosaurs into the Google logo and you'd have it. I think you are talented. I think you have an amazing skill. I think that's something to consider. So overall, I would say this is definitely ready for brands. As a brand, if I was like, let's say I'm Google Chrome or just any of these, I see a clear understanding of playlists. I see a clear idea of content you can do. I see good views. Like I said, only thing I'm a little bit afraid of is the age of some of this content, but that's a little better with the, your recent uploads, and I see your T-Rex drawings, which are within the year. So overall, I say you have a good kind of mix. Just kind of keep that in mind. Overall, definitely would be happy. And Beanie, I don't have any contact information. I saw it on Twitter. If I could find it, I'll send it to you, but I remember seeing it though. So overall, I definitely think you're doing well. I'm still giving you that F-. I'm nowhere to be seen on the side, and I'm a brand looking at you. I see TubeBuddy, so I mean, okay, I'll give you TubeBuddy. I'll give you an A+. Hello, Tiffany Von Gravely. Thank you for stopping by, and welcome. So that is something to consider. Overall, I like what I'm seeing. Just kind of keep all that in mind, and I definitely think brands would be ready to work with you. So. And you can give me an F- for this terrible A, because this is awful. But just have to have a little bit of fun. Just trying to bring some entertainment value. And I am really happy. Really digging those colorful and recent thumbnails Beanie draws. Google collab would be amazing. Would love to see that, says Kitslam Arts. On the subject of dinos, I saw a bunch of Jurassic World Jeeps and a giant dinosaur statue in LA, and it was so cool. Oh, absolutely. When I went to the Jurassic Park ride at Universal, Beanie, if you better be coming to Vid Summit, because I want to take you to Universal Studios, man. You would love it. We need to go. So if I see Beanie on Google, I'll cry tears of joys. Let me know if you would cry tears of joy if you saw Beanie on Google. I know I would. I'd be bawling. And Beanie, do you sell or take commissions? Because this is just a personal side note. Of course, to you watching live or in the replay, if you ever want a channel review, I go live Thursdays at 5 p.m. PST. This may change, so just keep up to date with the channel. It's not every Thursday. I announce it on Twitter, so if you're not following me on Twitter, go to twitter.com/AndrewCanFilm. Back to the point, Beanie. I love Stegosauruses, and fun fact, it's my favorite dinosaur. I've loved dinosaurs since I was born. So I know you have a few Stegosaurus drawings, but do you ever consider selling commissions? I'm about to start selling and commissions. I would love to have a Beanie draw Stegosaurus in my set, so I would definitely want to contact you about that. Or heck, even merchandise, because I think your stuff is that good. I'd love a Beanie draws something. So just keep that in mind. 30 Days Review says absolutely. So Beanie, there's an audience there. Just keep that in mind. So, final call for, branding or channel reviews. Curious. Then Kitslam needs to do one for Oreos or crayons. Agree, Dr. Sten. Couldn't agree more. Nice. We can talk about that. Perfect. Beanie, I have you on Discord. Please send me a message. Interested. Okay. Final call. Beanie draws. You need that new mashup you drew on a t-shirt, says 30 Day Reviews. So, final call. Closing time. You don't have to go home. You can't stay on the stream because I gotta go. So, I think we are good. You need to hire. I need to hire you to make a Spinosaurus someday, says Aaron. Beanie, I'm getting you work. Come on. So, I think I'm good. There's only one person left that I need to take a look at. And I know. Thanks for everything, says 30 Days. We are not done, everyone. Because I'm going to take a look at Doug Hewson YouTube. He's not going to escape me again. So, got to unsubscribe. Sorry about that. But I need to see what a brand would see when they look at your YouTube. Love, by the way, the new redesign. I haven't had a chance to take a look at your channel since the first one. So I'm going to resubscribe. Make sure that I see what a brand would see. Doug Hewson YouTube, helping you with tech content creation. Subscriber live stream Friday, 8 p.m. at 8 p.m. EST. Perfect. Know what to expect. Know what to see. Uploads. Love it. Love the views on this. I love custom YouTube homepage activation. Turn on your channel's potential. Perfect video for you. The Cookie Couture. I will link this in chat. I see a Mac lover. I love you, says Aaron. So if you want to know how to set up your channel, there's a great video. However, I have to stop this. F-. Come on. So that was it. Really short review. What the heck? I've been subscribed to you, Dan. Okay, well, that's not good. I've never actually had the YouTube subscribe bug happen to me. Huh. Well, there you go, folks. Huh. Back to Doug's channel. Sorry, I got a little distracted by that. Just a little confused. 30-day review says, please get a picture with the full shoulder. Don't worry, I got you 30-day reviews. Don't worry. I can do this. I believe I can do this. I know what you're thinking. Don't quit your day job. You're right. Beanie Draw says, how about that? I've had that happen with some other channels. You know, YouTube says there's no issue, but I would disagree completely. So, 30 days reviews goes, phew, that's better. All right. So, besides that, generally looking at your channel, I like the helping you with tech for content creation. So I could definitely see, you know, maybe an editing software, maybe, you know, things in that nature coming for you. Or even if I'm a YouTube censored kind of channel, I like Canva. So let's say I'm Canva, or let's say I'm any of these kind of programs looking out to you. I've worked with many programs and I see a good understanding of branding. I see a good understanding of like theming. So I definitely see an easy kind of way I could work with you. I like how I'm seeing good views. I'm seeing good content. I'm seeing decent things. Again, similar to anything else, I don't know if they'd necessarily come to you, but if you were to go out to brands. Yeah, Doug Houston, I've seen that they're blaming 3 third-party plugins. I've also seen them say, maybe you unsubscribed in the middle of the night. I just want to take a sidebar, because that's what I'm doing at 3 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to unsubscribe to people I watch. Thanks, YouTube. Again, the buck has to stop somewhere. Back to the channel. I love what I'm seeing. Again, I would have data. Get connected and wake up before Nick and D go live over at Nimminot Live. Join us for a hangout and trivia and ask your tech YouTube questions. I love this pre-live show. So basically, I would say you're ready. I would say have things where you can show either the YouTube, like either previous affiliate programs, or you can show click through, so you can prove. Sleep unsubsubbing is a serious affliction. It really is. The more dangerous form of sleepwalking. Absolutely. Again, YouTube, just accept that there's a problem. I don't think people would be upset. Genuinely, I think if more people would be understanding than upset. I'm upset that you're telling me that it's everything but your own system. I'm not unsubscribing from people. Like, just be honest with me. Anyway, back to you, Doug. I like what I'm seeing. Again, just have data. Have proof that you can get people to sign up or subscribe or follow you to wherever they go, because it's important. Make sure you're doing all of that so you know for sure that you can prove, if you go reach out to a brand, that you can bring this value, because I have no doubt you can. But as a brand, I could see why they'd be just a little concerned. So just keep that in mind. Have that ready in case I'm a brand, I email you. Because again, a lot of people don't consider this, but the faster you reply to a brand email shows how prepared you are, shows how professional you are, and it shows that you are ready to work with brands. Because I see a lot of people just not ready, and then they wonder why they can't get a follow back or a follow through with brands. So be prepared. There's nothing wrong with being prepared, but there's a lot wrong with not being ready for something. So I definitely think, Doug, you're doing a great job. I think that overall you should consider things in that nature. I'm going to give Doug an A. Again, I'm seeing a clear understanding, very easy things. Just make sure you have proof that you can drive sales, drive things like that, and I think you have it. 30-day review says, hate when brands take forever to respond to an email, but that goes both ways. I've had it to where, as working at TubeBuddy, we send an email. If it takes you 3 weeks to reply, we're probably not going to make anything. Become a Prime, aka Aaron says A++. Kid Slams Art says, Andrew, if there's still times, I would love some tips on branding / how to reach out to brands. Should we just fire them a well-crafted email? Do we have to mention prices? All insights appreciated. Kid Slams Art, I kind of did that earlier, but I will gladly give you a recap. 1, make sure your YouTube channel or whatever branding, your website, YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, make sure it is ready to be looked at by brands. 2, use sites such as Social Blue Book or have affiliate link click-through rates ready. So I used the TubeBuddy affiliate program earlier as an example, or use Social Blue Book, which gives you your data and you can use it. Social Blue Book at socialbluebook.com. I made a video with them. I loved what I'm seeing. 30-day review says, no, the shoulder is gone again. Sorry. Some changes cannot be good. Very good look on the channel too. Agree, Dr. Stan. But again, overall, you need to be ready. So if a brand reaches you or you want to go to them, you need to know what you want. Social Blue Book also has a great way so you can send proposals to brands. So if you know their emails, you can easily send them all this information. Be ready for them. So they're like, wow, Kid Slam Arts is so ready. He has all this information ready. I know the potential. I see it. And then you can get a more honest answer. I've had brands say, Andrew, I think what you have is great. I like the numbers I'm seeing. However, I need a little bit more to send this to my higher ups. And that's an answer. That's not the answer I want, but at least they're like, if you can, and I've even gotten, if you can get to X amount of subscribers, it just lets me more easily contribute to my boss. I almost said manager. We have to remember, these are marketing people usually looking at these channels, and they may love your channel, but if my boss goes, I need to see proof of sales and you don't have any, I have nothing to show but my feeling, and my feeling is never going to be as strong as fact. So fact over feeling. So have those numbers ready so you can go in with an informed decision. Doug Houston, if you won't hear the end of it from me, by the way, says 30-day reviews. Doug Houston YouTube, you should hit up some of the small local Aussie tech manufacturers and see if you can help them with free promo, and helps you by showing you can start brand relationships. Absolutely, great idea, Beanie. Perfect, thanks Andrew. I'll be clicking on the upload of this vid. Take some notes. Perfect. Again, I think this was a really good live stream. We had a lot of good different kind of channels. We saw channels that had great branding, channels that needed a little bit of work. And overall, you have to remember, brands are looking for a level of professionalism, a level of proof that they can make sales, because essentially, if they don't see the value in you, then what value do they have to their boss? Because again, everyone's got a boss. And think of it this way. If you were looking at your channel and you were a brand, and despite your personal attachment to it, would you sponsor your own channel? That's why I'm here as a third party. Now again, a lot of these channels were great as just YouTube channels, but they fell short when it came time to brands. So keep that in mind. Gord says, I guess I'm too late to the show. We'll need to catch the replay. Gord, sorry about that. But yes, we have a lot of good information in the replay. Thunder 13, I think I came late to the stream a little bit, but we are wrapping up now. First of all, I would like to thank everyone, all the moderators, everyone who's let me look at your channels. You don't understand how happy this makes me. I love looking at these channels. I love the opportunity to just be a part of the space, to be a part of the YouTube experience. So for me, it makes me happy to take a look at these channels. Hopefully you all learned something. And remember, I'm Andrew Can, and if I can, you can too. If you want to grow on YouTube, consider getting TubeBuddy. You can use tubebuddy.com/can or use the code AndrewBuddy for an extra 25% off on any license. It is worth it. It has taken my YouTube channel from 0 to almost 2,000 subscribers on this personal channel. Fun fact, it has almost been a year since I took this YouTube channel serious, and I've gotten over 2,000 subs in that time. Most of my focus is on the TubeBuddy YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. If you enjoyed this live stream, please consider subscribing. I go live Thursdays at 5 p.m. PST. This may change in the future though, but keep watching live and you will know what the changes are. I'm Andrew Can, and once again, if I can, you can too.